7th. Like every Sunday, I began the day with the same ritual. A quiet cup of coffee in a corner. It is not the taste I love the most. It is the short pause it creates, a small opening in my mind, a moment where I step out of life's noise and return to myself. After finishing my coffee, I walked toward the restroom and noticed a long row of tables in the distance. Dozens of people were sitting across from one another, each holding cards with a strangely serious look on their faces. At first, I thought it was tarot. The colors of the cards, the way the tables were arranged, the way people stared at each other, made it look like someone was reading a fortune, while someone else waited quietly for their future. I even wondered if it was some sort of group tarot event. They were playing with such focus and precision that nothing else felt possible. But then I saw curious children leaning over the tables, and I realized something did not fit. Children do not gather around fortune-telling. They gather around games. I stepped closer, and then I saw it. They were playing Pokémon cards. Most of them were adults, not kids. People who had carried the weight of many years. Yet with a few pieces of cardboard, they were opening the door to a completely different world. As I watched them, I began to notice something beautiful. The excitement of placing a card on the table, the small calculations running in their minds while they waited for the opponent's move, the creatures they imagined so vividly felt like a bridge between childhood and real life. And at that moment, I asked myself, when was the last time I played a game? How long had life pressed down on me like an endless list of tasks? How long had it been since I allowed myself to feel the lightness of play? Those adults reminded me of something important. Age, seriousness, work, and responsibility do not erase the human need for play. If anything, the heavier real life becomes, the more the mind seeks a quiet refuge of imagination. Maybe play does not belong only to childhood. Maybe it belongs to survival. The imaginary creatures on those cards were fully alive in their minds, and seeing that made me smile. Even as someone who was only watching, I felt a little lighter. And I thought to myself, sometimes we need play in order to carry the weight of reality. Play is not an escape. It is the way the soul repairs itself. When I got home in the evening, I opened my history notebook. On the page, one line stood out. December 7th, 1836. Martin Van Buren was elected the 8th President of the United States. Yesterday, as I watched the adults playing their card game, I noticed the strange seriousness in the way they chose each card. One move, one choice, one decision felt important enough to shape the entire game. Seeing that made me think about something. Adulthood is also a kind of game. Not the light game of childhood, but one where the rules grow heavier and the consequences become sharper. The 1836 election that brought Van Buren to the presidency was very much like that. Ballot boxes were like decks of cards. Every voter played the card they held. There were no colorful creatures on the table, only the future of a nation. At a game table, you can play the wrong card, lose, stand up, laugh, and move on. life continues. But in the game of an election, the cost of the wrong card can rest on the shoulders of an entire people. Yesterday, the people I saw were playing a game. On this day in history, people were also playing a game, but the stakes were different. That is the difference. Games entertain us. Elections shape us. On the day Van Buren was elected, thousands placed their own cards on the table. They did not know exactly what they would gain, but they knew the risk was real. I pictured yesterday's card table again in my mind. There was childhood in the eyes of those adults, but there is no room for childhood in a ballot box. Every signature you place there is a card you play, and that card touches not only your life, but the lives of others as well. December 7th made me think of this. There are two kinds of games in life. One makes us lighter, the other makes us heavier. We need both. And I wrote the following in my notebook. A wrong card at the game table hurts you. A wrong card in life hurts a society.